Welcome to 4 little German padlocks. These were sent to me by MrLupooo from YouTube. Buddy, thank you very much for sending these nice locks my way. Actually, he wanted to see me picking the ABUS 4545 because that's the only lock that he could not get open. I did a unpacking and I did a out of the package picking, but the time I needed to pick all of these locks open was really bad. So I decided to practice a little bit and to show you a nicer picking. Let's start with my lock. That's the bidding on the key. Pretty good bidding with a deep cut here at 4, protecting number 5. Although the keyway is really wide open, so we can use a thin wiper blade type tension wrench at the open side of the keyway to tension lock, and there is still plenty of room left for picking the pins. The keyway and the bidding is really drastic, so I have to use a deeper hook. This is one from Southord. Of course, I didn't know about the bidding the first time when I picked the lock, so it took me much more time than I can hopefully demonstrate now. So go in, apply light tension, and try to get the pin set. These pins feel actually like serrated pins, and if you apply too much tension, you really don't know what to do. If a pin is set or if it needs to be picked, it's really difficult to differentiate. So apply light tension and only tap at the pins and vary the tension to get the pins set. One is still springy here, and 4 is not deep down, so 4 is a long key pin. Usually, yeah, now it's deep down. Usually when the picking state is okay, no overset pins, 4 is really prominent here in the keyway. 5 is okay, 4 is up, it's okay. So now 1 is binding. It's really hard to set 1. Okay, 1 is set. I think 2 needs to be set. I have to release all my tension to get 2 set. 2 clicks from 2, 1 returned. Okay, got it. Now it feels like that all pins are set. Oh, maybe 4 is a little bit too deep. It's actually hard to get my pick under 4. I think now I got it. One came back. So now it's just lighten up the tension, vary the tension, and tapping the pins until we get an open. So that was the first lock, the My lock. Initially, when I picked it out of the package, it took me, hold your breath, 17 minutes. Alright, let's move on to the ABUS 64 Ti40. Has the same kind of keyway. Bidding is not that drastic, so I used the same tensioner, but I used this hybrid from Sparrows, which is a little bit more comfortable to use. So 1 is binding, could set it. One came back, set it again. These are actually really good locks, and it's open. So it's not a big deal if you know what kind of feedback you have to expect. But initially when I picked it out of the package, it took me 11 minutes. Here we go. That was the Abus Titanium. Now let's move on to the Burgwächter C-line. When I looked at the footage, I've seen that I totally run out of frame with this lock, so I redo the picking. As you can see, the Burgwächter has a totally different keyway, a straight keyway with a lot of peaks in the way. The bidding looks like this. We've got a deeper cut at 3 and very shallow cuts at 1, 2, 4 and especially 5. So pretty good bidding. Lock works, no problem. There is enough room in the keyway to tension a lock at the open side with a medium tensioner, and I used this southward medium hook to pick the pins. The line was not drawn by me, it was there before, maybe from MrLupooo, but I've never felt any security pins. So go in with my pick, apply tension, and I can feel 5 binding. I think I got 5. Four and 5. All right. 1, 2. I try to leave 3 alone. I think I've already overset 3. Just feels like. So I release tension, see what happens. 1 pin returned, so 1 is springy. Try again. 5, 4, 1 is binding, got it. 2 is binding, and the lock opens. Alright, so that was the Burgwächter. Now comes the main act, the Abus 4540 with a very paracentric keyway. And I did a video on this keyway, how nasty it is. I took one of these locks apart and also broke apart the plug to show you the inside and how little space you actually have for picking the pins. Here is the bidding on this lock, which is not really difficult. So from the bidding it's not too challenging, but of course for the keyway. But for this lock I will show you the initial opening from the out of the package picking. By the way, this lock took me 17 minutes again, and this lock took me 8 minutes. So have fun watching me picking this lock the first time out of the package. Okay, I start again. Was 1. Two. 1 came back, I set it again. 3. 1. That's the warning. 1 and 2, okay. There was 3 before and 1 returned. So maybe I'm picking the lock out of order. Out of binding order. 2, 3, 4, and 5. No. Nothing. It was 4 and 5, and we've got the lock open. Yeah. That's how easy it is. No, it's not easy. That's a tough lock. Alright, so here we go. All of these locks were picked. 17, 11, 17, 8 minutes were my out of the package picking time. Maybe that's because I'm a lousy picker, or maybe I'm just not used to the type of feedback especially these two locks gave me. The time for this lock was the least time, only 8 minutes. And that's because I knew this lock already. I knew about the keyway and I knew how to attack it. So maybe it's more the practicing aspect, how quickly you can pick a certain type of lock. I was not prepared for this type of feedback, where I think we've got to deal with serrated pins or something similar. Anyway, it was a lot of fun and a great lesson for me. So, MrLupooo, thank you very much for sending these locks to me. And everybody else, thank you very much for watching. Happy picking and bye-bye.